자, 그러면 3월 8일 수요일 모닝 헤드라인스 뉴스캐스터 레이와 함께 시작합니다.
Spending on private education in Korea hit a record high of 26 trillion won last year amid the prolonged COVID-19 pandemic that restricted in-person school education, according to a survey released by the Education Ministry.
교육부가 발표한 자료에 따르면 코로나 팬데믹이 장기화되는 가운데 학습 결손에 대한 우려가 커지면서 지난해 사교육비 총액이 역대 최고치인 26조 원을 기록했습니다.
Korea's per capita income in dollars decreased by nearly 8% last year on the back of the won's depreciation against the greenback, with the country's gross national income per capita coming to $32,661 in 2022.
지난해 우리나라의 달러 기준 1인당 국민 총소득이 8% 가까이 감소하며 32,661달러를 기록했습니다. 이는 지난해 급등한 원달러 환율이 영향을 미친 것으로 보입니다.
Japan's first launch of its new flagship space rocket ended in failure on Tuesday when controllers issued a destruct command just 15 minutes after liftoff.
일본의 새 주력 대형 로켓의 첫 발사 시도가 발사 15분 만에 일본 우주 항공연구개발기구가 기체 파괴 명령을 내리면서 실패로 끝났습니다.
More than 1,000 super emitter sites leaked methane into the global atmosphere in 2022, according to an analysis of satellite data, with the worst single leak found to be equivalent to 67 million running cars.
지난해 전 세계 1,000여 곳의 에너지 생산 및 쓰레기 처리 시설에서 자동차 6,700만 대 배출량에 버금가는 메탄이 한꺼번에 유출된 적이 있다는 분석 결과가 위성자료 분석을 통해 나타났다고 외신이 전했습니다.
Bruce Willis's wife, Emma Heming Willis, has asked paparazzi to keep their distance and stop yelling at the Hollywood star, who has been diagnosed with dementia and was hounded on a recent outing.
배우 브루스 윌리스의 아내 에마 해밍 윌리스가 파파라치들에게 치매 진단을 받은 남편의 개인 공간을 존중해주고 크게 소리치지 말 것을 요청했습니다. And those are our headlines. Morning Headline Expressions. From the headlines, we had this expression, spending on private education. 이게 바로 사교육비입니다. So spending on anything, right?
Right. You put money into it. You spend money on it.
Yeah, exactly. So 무엇에 대한 비용이란 뜻으로 spending on 뭐뭐뭐 이렇게 얘기할 수 있고요. Private education, 사교육.
And if you feel like you're spending too much money on things, you might say, "Oh, I need to curb my spending right now." If maybe perhaps something has gone on, or you know you're going to have bigger expenses down the line,
Yeah.
you might try and restrict your spending, limit your spending.
Limit or restrict your spending. 지출을 좀 줄여야겠다라는 생각이 들 때 쓰는 표현이고요. The next one is per capita income in dollars.
Anytime we talk about per capita, it just means per person.
Yeah.
So what they did here is they took the average for, Korean won, put it in dollar terms, and then divided it by the number of people.
Yeah. For some reason, when it comes to stats, we always say per capita. I don't think you say GNI per person or
No.
GDP per person. It's always per capita.
That's right.
통계에서는 만큼은요. 항상 1인당이라는 뜻으로 per capita라고 해야 되고요. 그 외에 일반적인 상황에서는 그냥 per person 하시면 돼요. If you just want to say, oh, the price will come to, I don't know, $10 per person. In that case, you can say per person.
Oh, you would
Yeah.
do it that way for
Yeah.
sure in just colloquial speech
Yeah.
when you're talking to people.
That's right.
But it's more for statistics when
Exactly.
you're just trying to judge how much each person would be on
Yeah.
average earning. Obviously, it's not an average in
Yeah.
reality, but
Right, that's true. 그렇죠. 1인당이라는 게 이렇게 뉴스에서 아니면 통계 얘기를 할 때는 per capita라고 한다는 거. 자, 그 다음에는요, flagship space rocket.
when we talk about anything being a flagship, it is the most important
Yeah.
or the biggest one. Like we mentioned, a flagship store. It'd be the first store that a company made. It's the biggest one. You can talk a lot about flagship products, for example,
flagship
right?
products.
You think of companies that have many products. What's their flagship product? What's the product that everybody thinks of when they think of that company?
그런 게 있죠. 이제 I'm thinking right now of a type of sneaker that's
yeah.
very popular and you like it very much as well.
Right.
I think that's one of their flagship products.
Yes.
You know, it represents a basketball player and, you know.
It was actually, it is
Yeah.
the flagship product because it's the one that actually made them the biggest sneaker company in the world. They
Yeah.
were not even, I don't think they were even like top 3 before that.
Exactly. But they have other sneakers too. I'm wearing a different kind of
Well,
sneaker
but
from
it's on
that
the
one.
back of
Yes.
Jordans, for
예,
sure.
그렇죠. 네, 그런 식으로 이렇게 뭐 어떤 기업을 떠올렸을 때 주력 상품 이거는 flagship product라고 얘기할 수 있습니다. 자, 그다음으로 be equivalent to something.
Be the same.
Be the same as something. 뭐뭐와 같다.
Right, and you can even be like having an argument with somebody or something like that, and you can say that's not equivalent, right? That's not the same. Like if people are saying you're trying to compare two things, well, this isn't equivalent, or you didn't do an equivalent amount of work that I did.
나랑 버금가는 일을 안 했잖아. 이런 말을 할 때 you didn't do the equivalent amount of work that I did. 이렇게 말할 수 있군요. 그다음엔 마지막으로 to keep one's distance.
Exactly what it says.
Yeah.
Right? To give
Still,
space.
yeah, give space.
Give space, right? And you can even sometimes say, like, you know, perhaps, I think, like, you go to work and maybe the manager is a bit grumpy or something like that. Like, when I used to do landscaping, we had one foreman, and this guy was, like, the grumpiest guy ever. So some days were worse than others, and everyone's like, oh, Rob's in a mood today. Keep your distance. Stay away from him.
멀리 떨어져.
If you
Keep
don't
your
have to go,
distance.
if you don't have to go near him,
아하.
I suggest you don't.
그래요. And also in the West, in English-speaking countries, personal space is really important, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
So I heard, and that was the case for me as well. When you come to Korea for the first time and you sort of bump into people,
Or people bump into you.
people bump into you.
And don't say anything.
You're quite surprised, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. 그래서 저도 그런 경험을 좀 하기도 했었는데 외국에서는 이 personal space가 굉장히 중요해요. 그래서 자신만의 개인 공간이죠. 그래서 굉장히 붐비는 곳에서도 가급적이면 이 공간을 좀 지키려고 하기 때문에 스치거나 부딪히거나 그러면 무조건 사과를 합니다. 외국인들, sorry 이렇게 바로 하는데 우리나라에서는 뭐 매번 누구 이렇게 부딪힐 때마다 사과하지는 않잖아요. 그래서 이게 좀 문화 차이라고 볼 수 있을 것 같아요.
When I was first living in Seoul and on a really busy subway, I was
Yeah.
at a panic attack and I got off.
그렇죠.
I had to get off because
그럴
I
수
was just
있어요.
like, I couldn't, I'd never been squeezed like that. And people just kept pushing and pushing and I just couldn't handle it.
It's hard to keep your distance when you're cramped inside a subway.
Right, it's just,
Yeah.
and it's all the thing, like, why do we have to push so much? Like,
Yeah.
wait. Like, you know, that's like the one thing teachers teach kids in Korea. Wait your turn.
Yeah, exactly. Wait your turn. 이거는 이제 차례차례대로 순서를 기다려라라는 말이기도 합니다. Alright, well those were our expressions. Morning Headline Expressions 는 오디오 어학당과 유튜브에서 무료로 다시 듣기 하실 수 있습니다.